You know, me and you actually aren't all that different because 3 years ago at 3 o'clock in the morning, I was sneaking off and clicking on a video just like this one, asking myself how the I was going to change my life. And videos like this actually made all the difference. So in today's video, I'm going to give you a makeup tutorial to show you how I achieved today's look. But at the same time, I'm going to tell you how I got out of the hood, got into fitness, and finally changed my life after years of dreading the position I was in. And if you don't watch the whole thing, fast forward to the end where my makeup is completely done so you can at least hear what I have to say, because I think that's the most important part. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Before we get into it, I apologize in advance if this is a little bit all over the place because I ramble and I didn't take any notes on how I was going to film this because I want to talk from exactly my own experience. I will kind of show you the products that I'm using as I go. I don't use too much. So I'm basically going to start off in the hood. I moved to the hood when I was 17. I was kicked out of my parents' house with the person that I was in a relationship with at the time. And we lived in a government assisted apartment complex. During those 5 years, I was drinking, smoking, binge eating, partying, and doing a lot of sitting, honestly. And I'm gonna be real, I have always wanted to be a hustler, entrepreneur, but during that time period, I kind of lost myself. Sorry if I miss anything and I'm just going because I'm rambling. So sorry. How I got big in the first place was binging, partying, eating, hanging out with a bunch of people all the time. And while I've always wanted to be a hustler and I've always worked towards that, I at the same time was distracted. I didn't really have schedule. I didn't really have motion, especially because y'all, I was on EBT and it was a government assisted, apartment. So a lot of my rent was being paid for the first couple years, like first year or two that I was living there. And so I didn't need to make a ton of money to survive there, right? This is a personal hot take, unpopular opinion, but I feel like government assistance is very much needed, but at a certain point, it can become a crutch if you don't have the mindset to want to get out of government assistance. Okay. I didn't want to fall into the trap of just being stuck in that neighborhood because that's the only place where the government was going to help me. What I used to do is I would watch YouTube videos because I always knew I wanted to be a hustler. I always knew I wanted to travel. I wanted to do more than what I was currently already doing. I knew I couldn't do that with the way that I was living. So I would watch YouTube videos. I loved watching travel vlogs. That was like my number one favorite thing to watch on YouTube was travel vlogs. And also people starting businesses on Shopify, drop shipping. I was always trying to like figure out game on how to make passive income because I knew one day like the government assistance program would end. It was not going to be forever. It was not income based. It was age based for the person that I was living with. So we basically did have a countdown and I was like, okay, I need to lock in before, said time does come because I'm playing too dang much and I do not want to end up working for anybody. Let's just say that. I don't want to end up working for anybody but myself. I would watch a lot of YouTube videos. I would start picking up finance books. My favorite one was Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey because it's like very simplified and it helps even people with debt. I didn't have debt at the time, thank God, but I really wanted to start learning about credit. I wanted to learn about how to start traveling for free. I saw a lot of YouTube videos of people being very creative with their time with passive income strategies, and I was like, there's no way that I can't touch PAPE even if I don't have that much. Like I just need to work harder, Even during that time when I was 300 pounds, I was still very adamant and persistent about wanting to hustle as far as financial freedom came. There was one thing that I noticed in particular about a lot of people that were living the lifestyles that I wanted to live, and that was that they all ate very healthy food. They lived in high-rise luxury nice apartments. They went to the gym regularly. They were in decent shape, most of them, or majority of them, honestly. And I used to sit up and ask myself, why is it that people who are in better health and better shape, they always have like nicer apartments, they have nicer things, and typically run businesses and like stuff like that. Like there never are really out of shape people doing this. And that was a pattern that I continuously kept peeping. And I asked myself that question a lot. And I didn't figure it out until I started doing it myself and got myself out of the hood. It was almost like as soon as I got into fitness, which if you guys have seen my tattoo on my stomach or sternum or whatever that says EST 2023, that's because that was the same year I started getting into the gym, started losing weight. That's when I got out of the hood finally, and I got into a luxury apartment or whatever. How I got there was literally shooting for the stars in anything I did, right? So when I was actually in the hood, I did start a business that made $10,000 in a day because one video went viral, and that was just straight organic advertisement. And the business was basically, they were popular sunglasses, a popular style at the time. And all I did was I took nail bedazzles with nail glue and started putting people's initials on them, or doing hot girl summer, or if people were graduating that year, they wanted like custom graduation, like grad 2020 or whatever on their sunglasses. And so I started hand doing every single one until, like I said, I made $10,000 in a day, but that was over 600 orders and I was only one person. I tried getting my ex and like a couple of friends and siblings to like try to do these sunglasses with me, but if you don't have a steady hand, it was honestly not going to work, and it was just wasting products. But a lot of it did go back to people in refunds, but I did make enough to keep trying other side hustles or invest in other things that would make me more money. So for example, with some of that money, I started getting into buying courses instead of just using free information. So in order to start my Shopify business, in order for me to start making these sunglasses and this side hustle, I used free information on YouTube and did as much research as I possibly could all the time. And I actually just shot for the stars, went for it, and made a little something shake, right? So then after I actually did make money from making something shake, then I started actually wanting to learn from people's expertise. And there is really no difference from free information versus paid information, other than the simple fact that you are getting a streamlined process of one person's front to end when you pay for their information. Which can be helpful because you have a step-by-step. And if you don't have a step-by-step, then you're left with the free information, which you just have to puzzle together yourself and probably spend more time figuring out a method that works for you, honestly. So basically, I started getting into buying influencer courses, and I bought one about free travel. And I was like, I really want to learn how to start traveling for free, right? And this course, or what should I say, class, was like 3 hours long, and it was like an older white lady who was teaching how to travel for free. But little did I know that her strategy had everything to do with credit cards and this term that we call credit card churning. So I actually not only learned how to start traveling for free, but I learned a lot about credit in that one little class that I took with her. I wrote so many notes. I started applying for credit cards. I was like, when I was like literally at the verge, and the first credit card I applied to, I didn't even get approved for because I didn't have credit. So I literally had to start from the bare bottom with whatever credit card I could get. And that kind of like started my credit. Now back to my point of why are people that run businesses so fit, so healthy, and why does it always correlate? They always go hand in hand. I eventually cold turkeyed everything from weed to nicotine to alcohol one day. I literally got over everything in like one day. And yes, I returned to smoking like tree and stuff like after like a year. That's the only thing that I really like went back to. I'm a very rare occasional drinker, maybe once a year, if that. But that's besides the point. I realized when I finally got in the gym, when I finally started sticking to it, that the reason why people who are fit physically have more or are doing luxury things or they can run a business is because the gym is more than just weight loss. It's more than just building muscles. There is mental strength that comes with lifting. There is mental strength with showing up every day, because if you want to remain consistent in that, you're basically arguing with your brain every day and beating it. And that's not something that everybody can do, but a business owner can do that. Running a business isn't easy. So you have to kind of train your brain to be able to tolerate things that you don't want to do. You know what I mean? Like your legs can lift heavier than your brain can. Your brain will tell you to put the weight down because it's uncomfortable, but you will tell yourself there's no possible way I will be putting this weight down because I know I'm actually physically capable. My body is physically capable of doing this, and I know I can do it. That's where the positive reinforcement of yourself comes into play, and that it's more than just the gym. It literally applies to more than just the gym. When you leave the gym, you still have that mental like fortitude. You still have that strength that comes with beating yourself. So I figured out, like, it was so funny. Literally months after I got into the gym, I got approved for my first luxury apartment. And I put luxury in quotes because the area wasn't that great, but it was not the hood. Some of the things that I did during this time that did not involve running a business, I opened up a notebook, a big black 5 subject blank notebook, and started writing down to do tasks every single day. And I would make sure that all of those tasks got completed. I would start tracking my expenses. I started budgeting. I started tracking my income, understanding better where my money was going. I was also trying to increase my income, obviously, by trying so many different side hustles. I've done digital products. I've failed at so many things. I have lost count, honestly. But I've always tried. And I've always made things work. I've always taken the time to learn and be patient with myself and allow myself to be a beginner, because I never wanted to stay in that situation. I would write YouTube ideas down. I would start doing TikTok and try to do TikTok affiliate. I would do digital products. I would do drop shipping. And you know what? Every day that I did it, it felt like I was doing a lot of nothing. It was dreadful. I actually signed up to a gym that had a quite expensive membership, and I subscribed to a 12-month contract with them because I wanted to pre-commit myself and actually make a promise that I was going to keep showing up, because 1, it's expensive, and 2, I wanted a good gym that I was going to feel good about showing up to every day, and not one that was like kind of like janky with broken equipment or whatever. I was like, no, I want to invest in myself, right? Just like how I do with my education and side hustles, I want to invest in my body and my health at this point, because I'm ready to change my entire life, not just my physical, but I was ready to change my entire life. When I finally started getting into the gym, routine became a lot easier for me. And when I showed up, it was less and less about weight loss and more about how much I could lift, how much I could put myself through, how much I could tolerate, and I would feel good physically after the workout. That's another thing too, is like, yes, it helps up here, but it also makes you physically feel better. You're more energized throughout the day. People be like, I'm too tired to work out, but honestly, you are more energized after a workout. And if you have a bad day, a workout will make your day better. And so it's literally mental and physical. I cannot stress that enough. When you actually embrace the mental that it comes with, you are more likely to succeed in the gym and remain consistent, because you can notice your brain is literally changing and developing into what you need it to be for your success, which is locked in. You start reading books. And I don't care if it's 10 pages a day. I don't care if it's 10 minutes a night. I don't care. And I don't care if the people around you support you or not. You have to do it, because nobody else is going to do it for you. And yes, I am fully aware that it is not easy to lock in and actually want to change your life when there is somebody around you who doesn't want it just as bad as you, who doesn't want to participate just as much as you, who doesn't want to level up just as much as you. But if you want it, bitch, you're gonna go get it, and you have to go get it. Okay, I promise, you have to get it. You got to turn up. You have to turn up, and nobody's gonna hold your hand. Nobody's gonna tell you any different. Nobody's gonna walk you through step by step. It really is, are you gonna figure it out or not? How bad do you want it, right? And a lot of the times people ask me, like, how did you stop vaping? And I'm like, do you have one on you right now? And if they say yes, I'm like, throw it out right now and never buy one again. And then they can't do it, right? So I'm like, why would you ask me if you're not serious? And that's kind of like the tough love that I give people, but it's really eye-opening for them in the moment too. It's like, damn, I must not be that serious. Because it does get that serious. It's either now or never. You're never going to do it if you don't do it now. You know what I mean? And that's why one day I woke up and I bought 2 brand new vapes. I threw them away. Every time somebody would come around with alcohol, I'd be like, I don't drink. That's simple. I just don't drink. Instead of saying I can't drink, I say I don't drink, because I don't means I identify as a person who does not drink, as opposed to somebody who is restricting themselves. When you say I can't, then your body wants it. When you say I can't do something, you either tell your brain either is like, yeah, this person is completely incapable of doing something, or your brain goes, I can't. No, I need to. Like, you get FOMO. I can't stress this part enough, y'all. While you're in the process of building while you're in the process of waking up and doing bullshit all day, every day, and following your schedule and knocking out your to-do list, it's gonna feel like you're doing a whole lot of nothing. Day after day, you wake up, you do the same thing. Day after day, it's nothing but repetition. You're like, bro, I'm not even making more money. I'm not even happier. I'm not even losing weight. Bro, when I tell you, you will wake up one day and be like, what the fuck did I do, bro? What did I do to get here? How did I get here, bro? I swear to you, bro, you get so locked in, you get so into the motion, into the repetition, that you get lost in the sauce, that the end goal is there one day. And it's real when entrepreneurs and people who are in the gym, or you've ever heard somebody successful talk, when they say, I did years of this in repetition every morning, and then one day I just woke up. Yes, it literally happens like that. One day I woke up and I was approved for an apartment. One day I woke up and I had good credit. One day I woke up and I was losing weight and I was addicted to the gym and I was excited to get up and knock out my to-do list. You know where I came from, though? Staying up until 3 a.m, watching videos on other people doing that. Staying up and trying to figure out how was I gonna do that? You know what I mean? It sounds like a lot. It sounds hard as fuck. I can't talk while I do my lashes, so I'm just gonna finish up here and then we'll do the end of the video together. I've done my lashes, but I'm gonna do lip combo now. Dang, this is kind of dull. Y'all always asking for my lip combo. I actually go in with the same liquid blush that I put on my face and my concealer. This is why I be saying I don't have a lip fucking combo. This is really how I be doing it. We control the traffic. Boom! I need to leave you with some final information. You're not only just what you eat, you are what you consume. So, honey, if you are up here watching baddies every single night, but you never make time to literally pick up free game on YouTube on how to start a side hustle with $10, you are what you consume. If you have a straight Instagram page where you follow all your friends and family, and then you follow, I don't know, World Star, and you follow all of your favorite celebrities, and you want to keep up with Drake's baby mama drama, but you don't follow no financial pages, you don't follow no investors, you don't follow people who literally post daily information on how they invest in real estate, stocks, as a complete beginner, you don't pick up no books, you don't make no time for any podcast or information where they're literally giving you free game, you are what you consume at that point. You need to take advantage of the free information that's out there. Ultimately, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to hold your hand. Nobody's going to tell you how it's done. It's going to take time. It takes dedication. You are going to have to put puzzle pieces together. You're going to have to figure out how to get creative. Get a notebook out. Do you know where all your money is going? Are you budgeting? Do you have a Roth IRA? Do you know what a Roth IRA is? Final piece of advice. When I tell people you should learn how to invest, a lot of them get nervous. Sounds intimidating. But what if I said, maybe you should learn why investing is important? That puts a lot of people at ease. For example, you might pick up a book on why investing is important, and then eventually, when you're done with that book, you've learned 10 different terms. You're a little more familiar with what an ETF and index fund is, even though you didn't plan on learning about that. And after that, now you have a little bit more knowledge. You've put yourself in the realm of collecting more information than you anticipated because you put yourself in that room. Once you're in that room, you're going to ask more questions. And I say that with progress too, with weight loss too, when it comes to consistency. Once you finally feel that consistency and the progress working, you're going to seek more. And that's the importance of putting yourself in the places that you want to be in the future. Put yourself there now. It's going to take time. It's going to take repetition. And it's going to feel like a whole lot of nothing until you wake up one day and you're literally in a position that you never imagined, traveling in a new state. Like, I would have never imagined myself here 3 years ago in that bed, that broken bed that was sunken in because I was 300 pounds and all I did was lay in bed all day. I would have never imagined myself here. I'm not going to cry because I just put my makeup on, but it is emotional, and I'm forever humble and forever grateful. And I know that in a heartbeat, all of it could get taken from you. And that's why that's why y'all see me push so hard every day, because the way that I got here is the way that I'm going to keep it. And I know that. Honestly, all I want to do is keep learning, keep expanding. And I want you to remember that being grateful in hard times is also important, because being grateful also comes with a little bit of self-love and actual gratitude for everything that you have, everything that you stand for, everything that you love and believe in. And you need that. You need that kind of self-love and self-support to push you further, to push you to those extremes. The end goal should be happiness and peace. It shouldn't just be monetary things or success. The happiness is the journey. It's the process of learning. It's the people you meet along the way. It's the experiences that teach you all of these valuable lessons, okay? Don't take any moment for granted. Don't take any person for granted. And if you ever get done dirty or something happens to you, just remember it happens for you, not to you. It is teaching you a lesson, and you can always learn and you can always grow. So take everything with a grain of salt, keep it pushing, keep it thugging, and move according to plan, not emotion. But yeah, I love y'all so much. And if you stayed to the end, I love you. Make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications, follow me on Instagram if you guys want more short form content, transformations, things like that. But here on YouTube, I'm going to be chatting up a storm with y'all per usual. But yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next video.